Welcome to another video. I am Adimas Kungfu from supersqa.com. In this video, we are getting introduced to test case management system. When you are in QA, whether you're in automation or manual, you are going to document your test cases and need to manage those test cases. And there are some professional tools that would allow us to do so. So let's just talk about why we need it and things like that, right? Test case management refers to the process of documenting, organizing, tracking, and maintaining test cases to ensure efficient testing. So when we start to use the tool, we will see. I'm going to give you a couple of demos here, okay? It helps teams track test progress, identify issues, and ensure thorough testing of all functionalities. Basically, everything is documented, so it makes your job easier. That's just an easy way of saying that. It makes you efficient, makes your life easier, and you can communicate with other teams, with managers, with colleagues a lot easier. Now, we looked at a couple of test cases earlier, what the test case looks like, and this is another example of how you would document test cases. In this case, this example here is using like sheets, right? Excel or Google Sheets or something like that. That is one of the options. When you are in a smaller company or a startup, you're just getting started, a document like Sheets is a valid way of documenting it. But as you grow, as your test cases get a lot more in quantity, it becomes really hard to manage that. So I definitely don't recommend it. You might as well start with some professional tool. It all depends on your budget. There is a free ones. It all depends if the limitations actually work for you or not, and things like that. And I'm actually building one myself that I'm going to share in the community. So I think the people in my community will be the first people to try it out. So make sure you join that Discord community. I have the pro community and the free community. Make sure you join at least the free community and be part of it. I'm building it with AI and vibe coding and all of that. I'll talk about that another time. All right, so it looks like this. You have a column for test case ID. Remember, the first thing a test case will have is an ID. Then we have the name. Then we have a precondition, and we have the steps and the expected results. So sometimes you would have, well, a lot of times you would have a description. For simplicity, I don't have it here. I just have the name and the precondition. And the test steps could serve as a description where they will explain what the test is doing. But I think that is another really important column that you should actually have. And the expected result, of course, you do the steps. What is the expected result? So you gotta have that. And every row is going to be a different test case. So you get the idea. Hopefully pause this, but you also have the document, the slides in your course material. So check that out. So here are test cases. Just examples of how a documented test case would look like. So why do we need it? Again, this is just to reassure the stuff we talked about. You avoid duplication. When you have things documented, you don't duplicate your efforts, right? You already know, oh, this test case is in this document. It's already there. I already executed it when it's time to execute. So you don't have to do it again. Ensure test coverage. You can, once you document it, you can look at the documented test cases and you can say, oh yeah, we covered everything about the application. You can go with the development team and you can review it. Usually that's what I do. I'll create all my tests. Then I go with the developer that built that feature and I'll be like, hey, this is my plan. This is what I'm planning to test. These are the test cases. Did I hit all the right spots? So you get to review it with the developer or with the product manager or even with the project manager sometimes. But the product manager is usually the person you want to talk to. It helps identify which test pass and fail. That's not very much true. You'll take the test case list and you create a test pass. That's when it's going to do that. But you basically keep track of pass and fail. Provides a centralized repository. It's just one place where all the test cases are. Even other teams, when you join a different team, a different project, you want to learn how they do things. What are the features of that product? I love reading test cases as opposed to reading like a requirement document, because the test cases are just broken down into smaller pieces. It will tell you exactly what the application does, and years later I forget how my own application works. I go in the test case, I look at it, oh, this is what it's supposed to do, this is what it's supposed to do, because usually it's not just about login and registration, right? There's a lot of complicated logic that the software does, and you need to document all of that, and you're going to forget because you're going to just keep between projects. And that is a very good documentation of how the application actually works. It improves collaboration. It just organizes storage, tracking progress, team collaboration. This basically repeats the other one. Again, a bigger course, compressed. So I left some slides in here. Just check out the slides. You get the idea. So some of the tools are case.io, TestLink, TestRail, Zephyr, and just plain old spreadsheet. Okay, so case.io I'm going to show you right now. I discovered case.io maybe like a couple of years ago. It is an awesome tool. It's like just beautiful UI. It's just a great one. I'm going to show you. It's free. They allow you to do 2 projects. It used to be unlimited. They just changed all of that. TestLink is old school, really popular, completely free, open source. Even the code is free, so you need to install. There is no testlink.com. You can't just go use it. You have to install it. TestRail is not free. They have a free trial. You can check it out. Zephyr is another really popular one that integrates with JIRA. I personally have not used it, so I'm not going to show any of that. But spreadsheets and case.io are the first options. Okay, so let's just take a look at those. Let's go to the next slide. The next slide just says create a free account. I'll just talk about that when we get here. So case.io, I'm logged in here. This is what it looks like when you logged out, at least today, right? This is the landing page for their homepage, case.io, QASE.io. Check it out. Create an account. It's totally free. I use Google, log in with Google or create an account with Google. And once you're in, it looks like this. But before we explore that, let's quickly look at TestRail, testrail.com. That's another popular one. I did use that in my previous job. Professionally, we paid for a license and everything. They have a 30-day trial, so feel free to explore it, try it out, just so you can put on your resume, right? Eventually, once you learn, manual testing, you can put those keywords in your resume. So when you go through that ATS, that application tracking system, well, it scans, the first thing that scans your resume is just looking for some keywords. So you can just load it up with keywords that you actually know. So if you spend 30 days just documenting TestRail, you can put it on your resume and you're not lying, right? You actually know how to use it. So that's just another hit. TestRail, TestLink, there's no testlink.com or anything. You can just get the code and download it. You can check out my YouTube channel. I have video on how to run TestLink locally, like it's totally free. So it's a PHP application. Hopefully they got a new version coming out, but it's kind of old school. I wouldn't spend too much time on that if I were you. But again, if you want to put that keyword on your resume, it's a good thing. Just play with it and put it on your keyword. So, I have this. This is basically if you want to join my community, like I said, we talk all the time. And if you want to get early access to that QA tool, AI tool that I'm building, join my community. You can just go to social right here, or the link is right there. Okay. I just have it there. And case.io. So create an account in case.io and it will let you, so this will be blank. I have 2 projects right now. They will allow you to create 2 projects. If I create a new project here, it won't let me do it. So when you create a project, you get one of them right here. You just give it any name you want. I just want to get to the test case point. Once you're in there, you can organize your test cases like suites. Think of suites like folders, right? So here, the way I've organized it, I have a suite for the front end. I have a suite for the back end, right? For the APIs, the database testing, everything. In the front end, most of the UI stuff that we talked about, right? So once you go to the front end, then I have it categorized kind of by page and by feature. So I have tests, a bunch of tests for the cart page, right? Make sure you add to cart, verify removing cart. Verify when you click X, things happen. You can apply a coupon. You can update the cart. A bunch of tests. I have about 200 something tests, more than 200 something. A lot of them are automated. All of those ones are automated. Then you see the home page. So I have it in different suites for different things, right? For a product details page, that's when you click on a product. This is for the e-commerce site, by the way. So when I click on a product, I get to a different page. So I have a bunch of tests for this page. Make sure this shows up. Make sure that shows up. Make sure when you click this happens. When you click that happens. So I broke it up into different folders. Inside of the folders, you have test cases. When you look at a test case, each test case, you can just get a little preview this way. And in fact, let's just create a new test case. I'm going to go to home page. Let me click this out. I'm going to go to home page. I'm going to say, actually it doesn't matter where I click. I'm going to say new test, create manually. Then you're going to give it a name. So this goes back to the slides that we just talked about, right? What a test case would look like. Just like this. So you would have a title, test case name, valid login credentials. So that would be in my account page, but you can say valid login, right? That's the title. The description is a user that exists should be able to log in. Then there's a lot of other fields you can fill out. A lot of times this part I do regression, and the status right now, like I can put it in a draft mode. If you have some steps, you want to add steps, you can add steps right here. So, in this short video, I'm not going to be able to cover this, but just explore it. If it's manual or automated, initially you always document it as manual, then you go write the code, you automate it, then you click on automated, okay? So you click on that. This should ask me for a suite. I don't know what suite it's creating it in. So I'm just going to say save, and it created it somewhere. It created it under homepage because I already had homepage selected. So somewhere in there it is created. Okay, so I'm thinking about creating like a YouTube tutorial just on this tool, how to use it, but it's very much straightforward. Okay, don't get intimidated. No cost to start or to even use properly. So go ahead and play with that, and at least put it on your to-do list. I think it's better to focus and finish this course, but on your to-do list, and I'll put a document on what you need to be doing in the course material that you downloaded from the very first video of this course. So I'll put information there, but this should definitely be in your to-do list to just so you can practice. Okay, and in my full software testing fundamentals, we have projects, so we're going to actually use this to document test cases. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I've been using it for about 2 years. They have an amazing API. Click on your name right here. It says API documentation. Their API is really cool. It's easy to understand and it works really well. Okay, so that is about test case management system. Feel free to explore the different tools you have. These are some of the tools that I know of, and you can start by just opening a spreadsheet. If you have a Google account, go open a Google Sheets in Google Drive and just start documenting it, make it look like this, right? And you can use AI. You can just go to ChatGPT and ask it to give you test cases, explain test cases. And of course, nowadays, all my test cases are created with AI. It just makes sense to take advantage of that. That's one of the best use cases in our world, the use cases for AI. All right. So let's keep going and keep learning more about QA.